Welcome to Action Coaching. We're certainly blessed of the Lord that you join us on today because God has some exciting coaching tips just for you. We certainly thank God for all of you that tune in to Action Coaching each and every week. It is our desire to give you some coaching tips so that you can continue to develop and achieve those things in your life that God has set before you. Certainly want to encourage you to hit subscribe to those of you that are watching Action Coaching. And of course, like on Facebook, let others know about Action Coaching. Everybody needs a coach in their life. Some call it coach, some call it mentor, others call it guide. But however, they all mean the same thing, that you need somebody that perhaps have went down a certain road you're endeavoring to go, and that they can give you some tips and some insights as to how you can better navigate that road. The desire of Action Coaching is not to try to change you into something else, because all of us have our unique gifts and nobody can beat us being ourselves. See, when we're ourselves, that's when we're going to be successful. I heard it say one time that most people spend the rest of their life trying to be like somebody else, and very little of their life trying to develop exactly who they are. I found out early in this walk with God that I couldn't be nobody but myself. But I'm most comfortable when I'm being myself. And if I trust in my God-given ability, then God will open doors for me that nobody can close. And I am a testimony of how God can do that. On these coaching sessions, I want to talk about dreams, goals, and reality. Let's go through that again. Dreams, goals, and reality. Those three things are going to be important in our Action Coaching on today. Now, all of us, at one point or another, have had dreams. And you know, the amazing thing about dreams is they're all exciting. Especially when you have a real good dream. You're so excited you lay down, or maybe you're walking however, and you get overwhelmed at the dream. Now, dreams are given to every one of us as a preview of a coming attraction. When a person dreams, it don't mean they got it yet. But the dreams say it is possible for you. Now, I know that some people have what I call, they're not exactly dreams. They're some other kind of weird sight. Meaning that if I don't have the gifts and talents to do a certain thing, then that shouldn't be my dream. I can want to be the strongest man in the world, but I know I'm not built like that. That's not my gifts and talent. So basically, your dreams come out of the ability you have within you. You can't dream you're going to be the best person in math in the world when you can't even do the multiplication table. That might not be your gift. That ain't no slight, but that may not be your gift. Because sometimes people, you know, you're born an original, but you certainly will die trying to be a copycat, trying to copy somebody else. That's just not your gift. That don't mean that you slighted or anything. That means that's not your gift. All of us have our unique talent, and that's what we should focus on. And basically, your dream come out of that. You know, the gifts that you have. Some people have various talents. That's the way the world works, and that's the way God have designed it. So usually a dream comes out of the gifts and talents you have. And when you dream, you see a snapshot of your future. That this, what you saw, what you dreamed, what you had a vision of, it can actually happen to you. And that is exciting. I've seen people go to Dreamers Conference that teach them how to dream. And sometimes you can dream stuff that's not for you. I was in a class one time, and I'll never will forget the teacher. Then he was talking about how we could make $1 million in our life. And $1 million at that particular time seemed like an exorbitant amount of money. Then he went on to describe how he made his first $1 million. It was an amazing story. But I never will forget the line that he had after that. He said, now I want y'all to understand, $1 million can be made in other areas too. This particular area is how I made my $1 million. But you all may have a different route. It may be something else that you do well that you make your $1 million. He was simply saying to us, and he went on to say that, understand, there's nothing wrong with the dream of $1 million, but there are different routes to achieving that dream that's based on all of our individual talent. And that's the way it is. Even a lot of times, most of the time when people come into the church or into a setting, most of them come in and only thing they see they can do or they want to do is be the preacher or be somebody that's up speaking. Now I know that there are people that are gifted to do that, and there are people that are not gifted to do that. But most of the time, the people not gifted to do that are always trying to do that. And the people that are gifted to do that, most of the time, they don't want to do that. I mean, I never believed I would be doing what I was doing because I was very willing to let somebody else go for that. I didn't have no desire. I had my eyes on other things that simply were not my gift. But when you're flowing in your gift, you can accomplish great things. So there's nothing wrong with being a dreamer. I just want to encourage you, dream within your gifts and talent. Don't live in somebody else's dream because you will never achieve that. You want to have your own dreams. And the fact that you can dream it, you can see it, mean that it's quite possible for you to have it. And that's what I'm talking about. So there are dreams. Some people call them visions, foresight, however they want to describe it. It usually works the same way. You know what I found out? That great people, great men and women, understand their destiny. Most people that could become great and don't become great, they don't understand their destiny, meaning that they don't want to do what they're good at. They want to try to conquer things that's not their gift and their calling. So everybody has a dream. Now what happens when you have a dream? The next thing you should start doing is set a goal. Now, goals are like this. Goals is saying, let me list all of the things that I got to do to make this picture I see come to pass. Say no dream gonna come to pass unless you got some goals. And you gonna need some goals, because nobody just born that way and it just happen overnight. You have to have goals so you can continue to strive. I don't care who it is that you admire in life that are living out their dream now. I guarantee if you sat down and talked to them, they'd have to tell you all of the things they had to go through. They had to have goals. They had to have goals that they wanted to accomplish. They had to have goals that they were striving for. They had to have objectives. They had to have things that they had to achieve before the vision could come to pass. Now, I don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you. Now, I left off talking about goals. See, now goals are things that you adapt, that you got to do every single day. You got to put the work in to accomplish those goals if you want to be where you need to be to achieve that dream you want. If I wanted to be, say, a bodybuilder, then that means I got to know what it takes to be a bodybuilder. I got to know what it takes to look like one. I got to know the things that I need to do to be a person that represents that dream. And I can't just do it sometimes. Those have got to be my goals every single day. Or in a simple thing. I know that we're in an age where a lot of people are maintaining their health and want to look, feel, and weigh the best. And there's so many challenges physically. And I know that a lot of people buy a lot of things that say, help me shortcut having to have goals and having to do this work. Can I just maybe drink a smoothie that'll make me lose 30 pounds? Or is there some pill out there I can just take the pill and instantly I wake up and I'm the right weight I want to be? That's not happening. There's got to be goals that you set, because there's certain things you got to achieve every single day to be what you need to be in order to accomplish that dream. So goals are necessary. Everyone has to have goals. The Bible says where there's no vision, the people perish. Well, what it really means is if you don't have no dream, no goal, you're just gonna run wild, because the dream and the goals are gonna restrict certain things about your life, because they're necessary if you're gonna make that dream happen. So you gotta have goals. Many dreams that I've had, I understood. I saw what I could have, but I had to have the goals in place to achieve what I wanted to have. A lot of times people just walking around saying, I'm gonna be this, I'm gonna be that, I believe I'm gonna do better than that, and they just talk. And then when you ask them, what are your goals? Well, I ain't got time to get to that. Well, how in the world you gonna be what you're saying you're gonna be and you got no goals for getting there? It's like getting in a car and just start driving. So I don't know where I'm going. but I'm just gonna drive. Why in the world you gonna know when you get there? If you don't know where you're going and you're just driving, how do you know that your driving is gonna be fruitful unless you have a goal that you're gonna get to? And in these days, based on all of the technology, we used to have to read maps to see where we were going, and the map would lead us there. Now they got the technology in your car or in your phone, and it'll talk to you concerning, go here, turn right, 500 feet, turn left, another mile, take another right. And when it get through instructing you, it'll say like you've arrived at your destination. Well, that's the same way with any dream. If you don't have goals, you're never going to arrive at your destination. All of us need goals. All of us need instructions as to how we're going to arrive at our destination. Now, my last point is this. All of us are going to have to deal with reality. What do you do when things don't work out the way you thought they were? Do you give up on your dream? Do you decide that that dream is not for you? Or do you shrink at the fact that what's happening to you is so deflating, so defeating, that you don't feel that this dream is for you? I got news for you. Reality is going to meet us all. Yes, there are going to be things that happen that we didn't foresee taking place in our life. A lot of times, reality is, I like to call it, sometimes it can be a cruel teacher, but other times it can be a very rewarding teacher. How is it a cruel teacher? Because sometimes it'll show itself when we are not prepared for it. Life's reality can set in our life, and it can catch us at any moment or any time, and we be like, wow, how did this happen to us? How did we end up here? I had it all planned out. I had the dream and the goal, and I had it all planned out, but I just didn't plan for reality. Now, I'm not a part of the people that sometimes when you got a goal, people that say, do you have your plan B? Well, I ain't the type of person that like to talk about plan B. Because to have a plan B is mean you're not going to you're sure that plan A ain't going to work. So you better have a plan B. Somebody said, well, what do you have to deal eventually with a plan B? Well, let me see how much I can get out of plan A first before I start thinking about a plan B. Let me strive and put all my energy in plan A, because the dreams that I have in my life, they're so big that they can't be occupied by plan A and plan B at the same time. It just got to be a dream and what it is, and I got to go for it. Now, when reality sets in, what is reality? That's what you call the testing. A lot of times when you go to the movies, not the actual movie you're going to see, but they might give you 15 minutes of previews of coming attractions. And they will show you sights and sounds of movies that are not out yet, but either they're being made or they almost complete, and they even announce the date that that particular movie is going to come out. Now, in reality, you saw the preview, and you know the date is going to come out, but you didn't see all of the work and all of the things that perhaps happened in them making that movie that they're going to later on introduce to you, because you were not privy to that. What reality does is come and test the dream. No dream is secure unless it can survive the test. Though you had a dream, you didn't think it was going to be easy, did you? But it ain't about whether it's hard or easy, it's about whether you got the right dream in place. Whether what you are dreaming can withstand every adversity till you achieve that goal. Because after all, when you come through it, when you deal with the realities of life and the adversity of life, the ultimate joy you get is not so much in you accomplishing what you've done, but that you survived, that you didn't quit. You did not give up. You dealt with the dreams, the goals, and the reality of it. That you were so sure that what you saw was for you, that you was willing to do what it takes to come through it. Don't run from reality. A lot of people spend their life running from reality. Well, I'm gonna try this, and I hope that nothing don't happen. Matter of fact, they be believing so that nothing don't happen, that they don't experience what's really gonna happen for them. You ever seen people that they be talking about defeat before they ever went anywhere? I know I was gonna mess up. I know I wasn't gonna do it. Well, I'm like this. Let's see if I can succeed first. And perhaps if I don't succeed, I can talk about the mess up later on. But I sure ain't gonna talk myself out of it before I get started. I'm gonna move fast forward and go for my goal. I'm gonna face reality, I'm gonna face adversity, but if I saw it, I can have it. If it's for me, I can achieve it. So these are the three key things. You got dreams, you got goals, you got reality. I like to call reality like you have detours in life sometime, or either on the road that you're traveling. Have you ever been going down the road and maybe they're working on it and they got a sign that says detour, that you got to go down another road and turn another road and back on the road you were originally planning on going to? The issue is, it ain't so much about the detour, is you may have to go down different roads, but you're gonna arrive at the place you wanted to go. That's what it's all about. Dreams, goals, and reality. Don't want you to go anywhere. I'll be right back to talk to you. Welcome back to Action Coaching. We're certainly delighted that you joined us on today, and I trust that the coaching tips I have given you will be a blessing to you. We've been talking about dreams, goals, and realities on today, and all of us can understand those three things are going to happen. I don't care what your dream is. You're going to need to do those things. I certainly want to encourage you to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering for the support of Action Coaching. We need your financial support so that we can expand Action Coaching and continue to coach so many other people with what God is giving us. Everybody needs a coach in their life, and of course, we thank God for giving us this opportunity. So we want to encourage you to sit down and sow a generous seed faith offering for the support of Action Coaching. Some can sow 100, some can sow 200, some can sow 50. Do it today. There's a link in my bio that will give you a host of ways to sow unto Action Coaching. And I want you to go to that link now and sow that seed on today. Thank you for your support of Action Coaching. Thank you for believing in what God has been giving us to share with you. And I know that your financial support is going to be much appreciated, and God is going to bless you richly for the seeds you've sown to Action Coaching. Well, the Lord bless you. I've certainly enjoyed sharing with you on today. And as I do each and every week, I want to encourage you, share the word with a friend and keep the word in action.